Okay, folks, so I want to try to do a screen recording here as best as I can with my iPhone on the computer desktop and share a little bit of information from NOAA's library on weather modification project reports. And I'd love to do like a screen share thing, but I don't have that capability anymore because they bricked the Mac, and this computer doesn't have that option on it to do screen share. So anyway, I'm going to try to do the best I can to record the screen itself with my iPhone. And I'll put a link in the description to this here for library.noaa.gov. And it's a list of all of their weather modification project reports that have been filed with NOAA. All of the non-federal weather modification activities that have been filed with them for a very long time. And if you click on the project date and range, it'll take you back to the older reports that were filed. But just in case there's anybody out there that's doubting that it's been ongoing and that there's been an ongoing assault on us here at ground level for decades, this is straight from the horse's mouth, really, the horse's ass. Publication history and scope. In the late 1940s and 1950s, many deemed the deliberate or inadvertent alteration of atmospheric conditions by human activity, also known as weather modification, as a promising science of the future. Currently, the most common form of weather modification is cloud seeding, which increases rain or snow, usually for the purpose of increasing the local water supply. Weather modification can also have the goal of preventing damaging weather, such as hail or hurricanes, from occurring. Well, they ain't been deploying that in Texas much, have they? Yeah, there's a couple interesting reports related to Texas, too, for sure, because it's been going on there for a very long time, folks. As part of public law 1972, all non-federal weather modification activities must be reported to the U.S. Secretary of Commerce via the NOAA Weather Program Office. Below is a list of these reports and is updated on a quarterly basis. And as required by that law, NOAA submitted a report to Congress back in 1979, which is available in the NOAA library, and I have that printed out, and I'll probably do another video where I'll do like a hard copy of that, because I have that actually filed out from 1979. It's pretty interesting. But we can go through some of these reports. I did open up a couple of them, and we can look at some of them a little bit closer. But you can see some of the dates go back quite a while. And this one is from Texas. This is in 2001. Hail suppression. And in these reports, this is an initial report on weather modification activities. It gives the dates. And then it gives the affiliation, general manager of Belding Farms in Texas. And it talks about, there's a description of the weather modification apparatus, modification agents, and their dispersal rates, the techniques employed, etc. Okay, so I'm going to have to get up on the computer screen and read this a little bit closer. It says, in their hail suppression technique, one or more Eggers anti-hail device is activated when a potential hailstorm is approaching. Weather is monitored by site personnel using NOAA weather radio and local media. Well, what do you know? Site personnel are trained and advised by a qualified meteorologist. The device sends a shock wave upward by means of a 6-second interval burst of air from a tuned port funnel following a confined gas explosion. Well, that's special. This wave creates a cone of effect directly overhead out to a 1-mile radius. A 1-mile radius. Wow. Yeah, within this cone, hail is broken by cavitation and hail growth is suppressed by ionization. All gas is consumed in the explosion chamber, expelling no residue into the air, really. The ionization effect, pushing positive ions from the surface into the cloud base where negative ions prevail, provides for water drop combining, and the resulting larger, heavier drops are not available to be lifted by convection to form new hail. Interesting. So you're sending a shock wave out to just for your hail suppression. I mean, come on. Really? I mean, come on. That was there's another one there from the same Belding Farms from 2003 for the same thing, hail suppression. Here's one from a Powell Plant Farms, hail suppression. The same technique from 2003. Yeah. Here's one to increase the snowpack. This is in Utah. Yeah, this is from 2018 and 2019. And their weather modification apparatus is approximately 14 ground-based cloud nuclei generators will be used. Each generator emits 8 grams per hour of silver iodide. Operational decisions will be made from NAWC offices in Sandy, Utah. Yeah. There's 2018, 2019. Weber Basin Conservancy District in Utah, using the same thing. Ground-based generators. Yeah, there you go. There's Utah showing the position. You can see there's Salt Lake City, and they got them like all around this whole eastern edge of Utah, just spewing out a bunch of silver iodide, which is a chemical compound, folks. This is from 2006, rainfall enhancement. North Plains Groundwater District in Texas. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is the one that talks about the aircraft. Okay, I'll try to read this through the phone. Hopefully it stays in focus. The weather modification program utilizes one Cessna 340 aircraft with one ejectable flare rack holding 102 20-gram silver iodide flares and 2 burn-in-place flare racks, one each on the trailing edge of each wing, holding a total of 48 40-gram burn-in-place flares. The aircraft is also capable of using wingtip generators to dispensing 180 grams per hour. Wow. The aircraft has a telemetry unit for tracking purposes. Level 2 radar data from WSR 88D radars from the National Weather Service in Amarillo, Texas, and Cannon Air Force Base in Clovis, New Mexico is ingested into, is that what the word is? Ingested? Ingested into a Linux-based desktop computer in the Weather Modification Office. Utilized together, the aircraft telemetry and radar display are used for the tracking and routing of the aircraft during operations. So there you go. And I believe I have some images and pictures of some of the Japanese cloud seeding planes that actually show all of these flares that are lined up on the wings. And again, this is from 2006, okay? Here's another one from 2000, yeah. Precipitation augmentation, and this would be in California, of course. And yeah, they use all of these different techniques. Weather radio systems, turbocharged Piper Aztec aircraft, pyrotechnics is seeding agent, silver iodide, rate of dispersal capabilities for 10 to 3,000 grams per hour, in cloud seeding at 16,000 to 20,000 feet, NWS climatological data and USGS hydrological data. Interesting that USGS would certainly be involved too, right? But anyway, I mean, and then they put out this data here showing how much silver iodide in the month. So we can probably go back through videos and see what the skies look like on certain days when, if we look up some of the, current reports. These ones here that I pulled up are all dating back 20 plus years, and again, a lot of it is coming out of California. A lot of it began out here in the West. There's one for San Joaquin Valley, South California Edison Company doing the same thing, augmenting the weather. What is this one for? This is 2001. Let's see, what was this one? thank you for your initial report, 2001 season for weather modification activities. Your project is assigned NOAA file. Yeah, so when you file your report with NOAA, NOAA gives you a file number and a report number, right? Initial report on weather modification activities from 2005, rainfall enhancement, North Plains Groundwater District, again in Texas. Yeah, using the same thing, the flares. A live tap via the internet of the Amarillo, Texas National Weather Service. So you know what? These people, these meteorologists and these people working in that industry know that this is going on. And the fact that they don't talk about it on the regular news is kind of interesting, because they try to really talk it up as if it's this great thing. And in fact, in their description here, you know, they talk about it, how, you know, it can prevent damaging weather. It's a good thing. And it's saving us from global warming, right? So the context tags, I'm sick of them. Silver iodide, which has been freely sprayed out into our environment and into our atmosphere from airplanes and from other means, and being injected into our atmosphere, is indeed a chemical. It is indeed a chemical. It is an inorganic compound. It's not naturally occurring the way that they are dispersing it and introducing it into our environment. So yes, what we see when they are spraying and they hang out and they linger in the sky the way that they do, and they cause shadows to form, are chemtrails, not contrails. YouTube needs to get a big old fat fact check when it comes to these context tags. You know what I mean? And I'll put a link in the description to this NOAA Central Library here showing their weather modification project reports if anybody wants to check it out. And there's, you know, recent ones here too. Let's see. This would be one of the more recent ones. Mountrail County. Let's open that up and see what that looks like. And this is in 2022. This would have been last year. And they're putting silver iodide. Oh, carbon dioxide. What? What is this about? This is only one page. I wonder what the ND Atmospheric Resource Board. Huh. Well, this is kind of an interesting report. There's really not a whole lot of details there other than type and amount of agent used. They actually have silver iodide and carbon dioxide listed on this report. Well, that's special. Huh. Interesting. Anyway, there's definitely more to come. Oh, North Dakota. That's kind of curious. Yeah. Okay.